Hi guys and welcome. Sorry, I forgot to put my headphones in. I'm going to do that right now while we're connecting. So welcome to Tarot Reading School. As usual, we are going to do I'm going to run you through a spread as we do on a Monday night. We do Tarot Reading School, we run through a spread, and as usual I'm using my Vicki Tarot, and we're going to do another 3-card spread, and I would like you to comment. You can come and say hi, which you've all done. Hi, and a card. Yep. So Ali, we are going to do some cards a bit later, but because it's Tarot Reading School, I'm going to run through a spread, going to explain it, and then we're going to demonstrate it by doing some readings for you. And as I mentioned in my little blurb, opening, like the little thing I wrote today for this, is that if you want to play along and do some readings as well, just check in first. You can leave a comment in the comments post, and you can say this is for such and such. Hi Laurel, hello. You can say it's for such and such, or you can just give a general reading to the group if you want to practice. And if anyone's in the group and want to say, hey, that's fantastic, thank you very much, you can place a comment in there. And only uplifting, positive stuff, please. This is a very nurturing and a secure environment. So we're all here to uplift each other and help each other. So but the little spread I want to talk about today is a 3-card spread. Again, 3 cards, really nice and handy. I use 3 cards a lot. And this time we're going to look at past influence, current circumstance, and future influence. Now, the reason I like that spread is simply because it shows where we are right now, but oftentimes when we've gone through a shift, or there's some things still bugging us or bothering us about something that we've been through, or our mind still might be going over and over some stuff, and we think we've done it, or we haven't done it. The past influence will show up and say, you know what, you've actually let this go, and this is no longer going to be affecting you. So that gives your client the I suppose the comfort to know that they don't actually have to be on the lookout for that thing to happen again. And that's no longer going to influence their thinking or their current circumstances. And that means that they can leave it behind with comfort and not worry about it anymore. And oftentimes your client can actually recognize that that's exactly what's going on. Oh, yeah, good. And so they'll be happy to just move on. And then the future influence is showing that the client what's actually going to help. That's always happy, and more often they sometimes they can come through as challenging, but that's because we're living a life, and especially if we're working through some really tough stuff, and having to be honest with ourselves about our like we're letting go of some belief systems, and looking at the cards are so straightforward that looking at that tough stuff can actually go, oh, okay, all right, I can do this. Because when you see it just like that, you go, you know what, it's like it's all brought out in the open, and you're not sort of fighting it, and you're not doubting yourself anymore, and you realize that you can actually manage some work through it. So I've pulled 3 cards to demonstrate to you. Now I'm going to just first of all show the current circumstance, and this is actually funny because this is the first card that came up in the weekly forecast last night. So that energy is still with us, is the 5 of Wands. So the current circumstance at the moment, 5 of Wands. So this will be for all of us. That means all the little things might be just mucking up, or computer, like me forgetting to put my AirPods in before I started. All that sort of stuff is going on. And you know what I did? I've got 2 paper cuts. I'm like, this is another thing. Right? So this is an example of the 5 of Wands. Is I've got 2 paper cuts on 2 fingers on my hands. That means my typing is really annoying because it's on the tips of my fingers. So that's 5 of Wands energy. It's just those little stuff that just it sort of takes your attention away from the tasks that you're doing. But what the 5 of Wands energy does do is it brings us our attention back to ourselves, because there's nothing else to do but focus on us, because we're constantly reminded, oh, what about me? What about me? What about me? So that's the current circumstance. Now, what energy are we leaving behind? So the past influence is the Tower. So in this instance, the Tower means that all that really heavy stuff has made you feel like that your world was crashing down around you, made you feel like that things were out of your control, and no matter what you tried to fix up, there was nothing that you could do. Basically, you had to watch things fall down around you. This is like the Tower card is the major version of the Five of Wands, which is pretty much the same thing. So that means that all of that really heavy, out of control stuff, and I would actually liken that to the probably like the lockdowns we've been having here in Australia. If you're watching from Australia, I'm sure you've been having it all over the world as well. But like our vaccine rollout is a little bit slow, so therefore, and every like they our government are trying to keep us so that we don't catch this other variants. So they do very quick lockdowns and very hard lockdowns, and they're very hard on everybody's mental health right now. So these constant lockdowns, the uncertainty of it all, is very much represented by the Tower. So isn't that comforting to know that those big out of control things that bother us and really stress us out, because we have no control over them, but we have to watch them happen time and time again, and now gone. Now, I'll go to read. Somebody's got something up there. I'm going to read that out to you in a minute. So now that means that the current circumstance means that all of that sort of has moved out, and now we're just dealing with the little things. So that means that these are the things that we can control. So what does that mean? Now the future influence, that's what's carrying us into the future, is now the Page of Wands. So this energy, which means that this is going to be the helpful card that's going to like give us some sort of something that we can recognize, so that we know that things are actually moving in the right direction. And when we recognize Page of Wands energy, we go, oh yeah, okay, that's good. That's a good sign or a good clue that things are moving in that direction. And the Page of Wands energy is just that restlessness. And actually I started writing tonight a little blurb, a little story talking about the restlessness that I've been seeing around me. I haven't actually finished that story, but the restlessness that we're feeling is simply because that shift, that Tower energy has now left us. Now it's almost like we're coming out of a slumber or coming out of a sleep, and now we're all feeling restless because our future is now actually possible. And this is what the Page of Wands that tells us, that the future is now attainable, and it's going to be a thing. So that means we're going to have the energy that we need to move forward into it, but we're already feeling that restless energy, and we don't really know what to do with it. So we're sort of in an in-between space before taking off, and just gearing ourselves up for it. So that's a 3-card spread: current circumstance, past influence, and future influence. So let's have a look at some of your comments. Let's see if anyone's been doing any. Let's have a look here. Oh, now Laurel says hi. Gail says hi. Hello. Jen says looking good tonight. Thank you. Now, this is what I want to talk about. When you use tarot cards, can you sometimes attract negative spirits, and how do you get them to go away? I stopped using after the first time because things started moving around. So, when I first started working in spirit energy, I had lots of really weird things happen to me, things moving around. I can remember one night I kept putting my head down, and I kept getting the pillow kept jumping up on me as well. So the tarot cards themselves are not, they're just a tool. They're a focus for our own psychic energy. The negative spirits, now, I don't do negative spirits because they're not part of my world. So therefore, I don't have, once upon a time, it was part of my world, and my guides showed me that they no longer need to be a part of my world. However, if they're a part of your world and your guides aren't helping you about how to move them on, then perhaps you might want to go back to your guides and ask them, well, what's going on here? Because it's not anyone's intention, or it's not our purpose to live in any sort of fear. And more often than not, when we have something unexplained, our mind will create a story around it, because it's very scary when weird things happen around you. Things start moving, you start seeing weird things around you, you start hearing voices in your head, all that sort of stuff happens. And then what happened for me was that I lent into it. I thought, you know what, this is not going away anywhere. I want to know more about it, because all that was happening was that I was a mess all the time. And so therefore I thought, I can't keep doing this all the time. I understood that being in this energy, I really liked being in the energy, but I had to learn how to manage being in the energy. And so, therefore, I learned about how to not be fearful in myself and to be recognize when my emotions were um, erupting and taking care of myself. And then what happened was teachers started coming into my life to show me the way. And so teachers that showed me that the spirits around me were not scary or negative or out to hurt me. Nothing sticks. But that's, again, that is my world. It's not your world. So first of all, how do you get them to go away? Talk to your guides and ask them for some advice. So you're saying literally kept pushing my phone off the couch, which is weird. So you can see that the spookiness comes from the fact that, well, how can something knock my phone off the lounge when it wasn't me? That means that there's something else. There's something other. We're taught to fear other things. Us different cultures. We're taught to fear different religions. We're taught to fear things that are not ourselves. And I think it's a natural human condition as well. This is part of your life because it's already there. Not wanting to touch your deck. This is the cards, anything are just focuses for your own psychic energy. So it wasn't really the cards that did it. It was your focus that created an energy space. And probably something around you got excited and wanted to say, hey, we're here. I would, and I say to everybody, Christine says here, grounding and protecting is very important as before you start every reading. Grounding and protecting is an important thing, simply because it puts you into a ritual of connecting to your own body's responses, your own intuitive responses, connecting to your own guides. What I would say about this type of thing is that finding somebody you can chat to, and this lovely lady here knows all about this, Gail. We talk a lot about this sort of stuff, that it is a part of your life, and if you make it scary, it's going to be scary. If you're thinking, oh, that was funny, my phone fell off, and you can have a laugh about it, it becomes less scary. There's really nothing, well, I can't say that there's nothing in your world. All I can say is there's no longer anything in my world that jumps out and scares me anymore. And I went to the time that I went to over at Stansted weeks, the college at Stansted, and that's like mediumship central, and they taught, the best mediums in the world work there. All the energy is like huge, and nothing bad, and they teach that nothing bad happens, that the spirit world is full of loving energy and the connections are all loving. And so I'd say find a really good teacher or a mentor to help you through this, to work with you and help you raise your vibration so that this sort of thing doesn't like freak you out, because it is part of who you are and it's not going to go anywhere. So learning to work with it actually makes your life a lot better. Now, what I'll do, we've got a little bit of time here, so let's do now, Ali said she wanted a card. I wonder if you're still here, Ali. I'm not sure, but I'll do a couple of really quick 3-card spreads. I'll do one for I'm going to sage my whole house. It would be, as I said, it's not the deck. It's just like it's your energy, but it's not easy for me to impart that information to you. It's one of those things to live through and understand for yourself. But as I said, find a really good teacher, a mentor to help you through that. So I'm going to do some little quick readings, and so you understand about the 3-card spread. They're so simple to do, because the things that leave us in the past, we can say, oh, good, that's gone now. I'm really happy twice now in the last week or so pulling out cards that say this huge shift in like the pandemic, the lockdowns, all that sort of stuff is actually moving out. I've got Gail telling me the same thing, this lovely lady here who does amazing readings and is just learning how to do that as well. And yes, I will do a card for you as well. Yes, and I will do. You hang in there. I'm going to do Ali. I'm going to go all the way down for all you guys who are stuck by. So we're going to do just one card for each of you. And so yes, so sorry, I was going to say that 3 card spread is really good. Understanding that energy that's leaving us, understanding where we are, and getting an idea about what that clue is that means that we're moving forward. I like the idea that the restlessness actually means that we're moving forward. So, alrighty. Now, if anyone else wants to make a comment, as in for this person here, I'm going to call you beautiful. I'm going to say if anyone who is a reader who would like to provide some hints or tips or even a reading for beautiful, I'm sure that would be much appreciated. So we're going to sorry, Ali, I keep fitting off you. All right, this is for you, Ali. Oh, I can't believe this. Look at this. Straight up. This is like the 3rd time in 2 days this card has turned up. So all it means is that those little things that are going wrong that are frustrating you is just getting rid of that restless energy so that the restless energy is actually exciting rather than annoying. And this card here is it's really about listening, waiting for the clues. And I'm sorry that my video dropped out a little bit. Apologize about that. So Ali, it's about listening about what's going on around you, and rather than jumping in, because then you'll get the clues about what it is that you need to hear. So Christine says hi. Now I'll pull a card for you. Oh, you're in a romantic phase at the moment, so all of your little dreams, dream your dreamy dreams, Christine. That your thought processes are going through a process of elimination about what you can achieve and what you can't achieve. So allow the Knight of Cups to wander through your dreams. It will give you some things that you love to do. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. Beautiful. Instead of using cards, just start with something simple. Just meditation is a really good place to start. I'm going to do your card first, because I do feel, I know it's awful when all this sort of, it freaks you out, right? It freaked me out when it first started happening to me. I didn't get it as strong as some people do, by the way, but I did have those weird things happen. And I can remember one night sleeping with scissors under my pillow because I thought someone was trying to break in, but it was the spirit. It was just, anyway, it was a whole other story. I should tell it one day. So this is for you. This is exactly what I just said. There are other things that you can choose rather than tarot cards to tap into your psychic energy. And if tarot cards are bothering you, then that's not the right thing right now. And it's like asking you to look elsewhere. So it could be pendulums, or it could be looking at crystals. Meditation is really good. They find a good meditation teacher. Or if you're in Australia and Thursday nights, I do 7:30 meditation. You're more than welcome to come along. It's only $6 a week. And we do a attunement meditation, which would be absolutely helpful for you. And I will walk you through the process. All right, so that's for you. Choices. Now let's have a look. We're going to go to Nicole. A little reading for you, my love. And Gail, yes, and Lauren, yes. And also to Jen, I'll do for you. So this is for you, Nicole. This is about taking what you're doing a little bit step further. This is very much like there's a short, sharp opportunity coming up for you where you can actually, and maybe it's like I'm saying to you tonight, start doing some readings here. You can come next Monday and come and do some little messages in the boxes if you want to do a bit of practice or want to reach out to everybody. And that's an example of this guy here. It's where you're doing something external to just your regular friends and everything, but there's a short, sharp opportunity available to you. And that's around you right now. So Laurel, let's do a card for you. We're nearly like old friends, Laurel, aren't we? So this is for you. Oh, got this card going on here. So you're looking outside of yourself at the moment and feeling a bit sort of, well, what about me? What about me? All that means is that it's a good time for some self-care. Pulling that energy back in. It's like giving out way too much energy and not getting that return that you're looking for. What is somebody said to me, they call it, don't be a psychic ATM, where you're constantly having withdrawals but no deposits being put. into the bank, and that's what you're needing right now. But you're just getting a little bit resentful, Lauren. Now, Gail would like a reading. I know, I saw that. Now, and there's Ash. Ash and I are going to be talking. Oh, Kayla. Sorry, that's beautiful. Beautiful is Kayla. I like beautiful. Don't you like beautiful? All right, so this is for Gail. Here we go. All right. I'll get back to you, Kayla. All right, so this is for you, Gail. This is like leaving things behind. So the 5 again is like just you're at that rock bottom. It is like time to of release and grief and trauma. But what it is that it's that final release on cutting off the cords. And so that's that, I say final because it's, as I said, 5's a rock bottom. So there's a few tears yet to go, but they will be the last tears. And so therefore you can then move on. It's just required that this little process finish itself, like it's rounding itself off. I don't think it's going to come and get you. It's already there. It's just rounding itself off. Alrighty. Now, this is my name's Kayla, if that helps. And here we go. Not sure what else I can use. I tried connecting to my spirit guides and I heard something say my name and freaked myself out. And this was years ago. So that's when I say this to you, Kayla, that's why having a mentor or a teacher is a really handy, good thing to do, because you're freaking yourself out because your mind is I mean, if you think about it, what other references do we have other than those, like, you know, the Exorcist movie and the Aliens movie and scary books and scary stories? Where, you know, once upon a time, and when I first started out, there were lots of groups around that we could go to where people actually taught us the basics from the ground up. These are like old psychics and old mediums. And when I say old, I mean they've been doing it for ages and ages. But the idea of a home circle or somewhere where there's a nurturing environment where your abilities can be nurtured and progressed, but in a space where what you're experiencing is going to be normalized rather than having it something that's really weird. And perhaps at the moment you might not have sufficient support around you to say, oh, you're fine, everything's fine. You know, may not have somebody that you can trust, that you can talk to about this, because what you're saying is that it happens to me a lot, so much so that now I don't think about it. I think, oh yeah, there's that voice, or you know, there's that feeling, oh, that dropped off, all the things, you know, why is this not working? You know, and I just found that any more time intense. I remember when I first picked up the cards back in, I think must have been 1994, 94, 95, I think it was. And these are the cards that I had back then. This is when I was first learning them, and I carried them with me everywhere. And I remember I was somewhere and I kept hearing Vicki. I'd be like, Vicki, Vicki. And I was like, I was in the middle of nowhere, on a veranda at a motel somewhere. I just yelled out, what? What do you want? And then the voice stopped. But it was outside of my head. So, and that happened to me a lot in the first year. Lots of voices outside of my head, weird things banging on my doors, pillows going, when it was all, and then after that, other weird things happened. So, but you know what the difference was, Kayla? I had people to talk to about it. I had people around me that I could say, this happened. And they went, that's normal. So I think that's what you need, because what you're saying here, I'm not picking up anything negative or bad. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Okay, Laurel says, yeah, we're like old friends. I feel this. Oh, lovely. Mwah. All right, I better go. I could sit here all night and chat about this sort of stuff, but that's for another day. I probably should write about it, actually, before I get too old and forget about it all. But anyway, thank you so much. This has been Tarot Reading School. I will leave this video up for a couple of weeks. I'm actually thinking about doing up those little videos and popping them up on my webpage so you can, as a free resource about how to do these little spreads. That's down the track. But anyway, lovely catching up with everybody. My newsletter's out tomorrow, so if you haven't signed up for it, you can go to my webpage and sign up. But I am opening up tarot practice, oracle practice, psychic practice, like, you know, where we can, much like we're talking with Kaylee about, is that we get things, we're going to do some psychic exercises to tune into our psychic awareness and normalize the experiences that we're having. we're going to do that twice a month, and I'm going to do once a month. If you want to join in, which I'm very excited about, is a massive like Reiki share, and all it is that you just, I think it's $6 to join, and you just turn up for an hour and you get a healing, and you just tune in. I use Reiki energy, have a little bit of music, and off we go. That's once a month. But anyway, there'll be a link on my newsletter tomorrow, and I'll pop it up. I'll get my lovely Tamara to put it up on my website and Facebook page as well, so that you can have a look at it. But anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night. We're talking emotions and soul well-being tomorrow night. So self-care all the way. Thanks, guys. Love to you all, and I'll see you then. Bye. Where are we?